This is Dr. Drake. I'm joined on the phone by Nellie Akalp. Is that right, Nellie?
Yes.
I am so scared about getting your name wrong. I tell you what, I hate it when people mispronounce my name. I can't tell you how many times people want to call me Freda or Rita. Oh, it drives me nuts. So I don't want to do that to you. Anyways, Nellie Akalp is here to talk to me and you a little bit about at least one of the articles she's written. And I know you're a prolific author, Nellie, but one of the things that I had spoken about before was your article, 4 Ways to Outdo Your Competition or your competitors. If anybody wants to call in, you're certainly welcome to call in. If you can get through on the phone lines, 866-826-1340. Again, that's 866-826-1340. Nellie, here is a very interesting article where there was one part that I did disagree on, but I wanted to go over it briefly with you. One is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So you were talking about a great example of Starbucks, how they certainly didn't invent coffee, but they were able to corner the market and really make it a niche. And
yes, that is correct.
Don't compete on price. Very good idea. I think your point here is when you're not competing on price, the idea is to just make a better product. Is that correct?
Yeah, that and I brought the whole don't compete on price as one of my points, Frida, because again, I used my company as the main example here in that we were competing on price when we launched in 2009, and then we looked at our business model and we saw that it was completely flawed, so we decided to change our business model and raise our prices last November, and we saw an increase of sales by 30%.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So basically, that's really the messaging that I was trying to get out, is that by raising our prices with my company specifically, we actually saw an increase in sales because customers kind of gave us more credibility with the higher prices.
Right, they saw the value.
And wanted to use us. So, competing on price and entering price wars sometimes, in my opinion, can hurt a company because it actually may make the potential client look, negatively at the company in their buying factor of considering you as one of their purchasers,
Right. Sometimes they confuse inexpensive with cheap.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, and I agree with that. And at the same time that you raised your prices, did you do anything else different, change your customer service in any way?
No, customer service has always been the same as it is. In fact, we just got secret shopped by nextadvisor.com, and we have been given, hands down, the best phone, web, email support, hands down, amongst all our competition. And it's really because we offer that personal live service whereby anytime you call in, you get a live person who answers the phone. And if they want to talk to me, they just have to ask. I'll get on the phone with them.
Very, very
so
key.
it's that it's that type of service that sets my company apart from my competition.
Enterprise Insurance Group is the company that sponsors my radio show, and that's something that their founder talks about quite a bit. It's very key that you are able to get a human, and I am so annoyed by the companies where I call them and you just get endless voicemails and press 2, press 4, press 5. It drives me insane. And I usually hang up when I get to the second or the third one that I have to press. I'm done.
Yes, and really that was one of one of my main goals in starting this company is that I wanted to be different on so many different levels and really set my company apart from my competition. And really what was hurting us, and one of the reasons why I really wrote that article, was our price. The price was hurting us, and our pricing model was hurting us because here we were offering these great packages, this excellent level of customer service, and yet people weren't buying from us because they associated the low price with cheap service. Once we raised our prices, we just got an influx of additional clients, and really, it really made my point about, that you can go into a saturated market, and there's always plenty of room, to go in a business in a saturated market. Mm-hmm. And this really proved my point,
Very interesting. Now, there is one part of your article that I didn't agree with, and I believe it is number 4, saturation can mean strength. Now, maybe you can prove me wrong, but in my experience, saturation often just means that you're about to become obsolete. How can saturation mean strength?
Well, again, for me, where I was coming from, it was using my own company as an example, and I used another company. If you saw in the article, Stevenson Fitness, which was my, which is our local gym that I attend to, and Chris Stevenson, the founder, is a good friend of mine. But basically, I live in Westlake Village, California, which the community here and the neighbors here are very, very focused on, their health and fitness. So literally at every stop sign or in every shopping center, and I'm not exaggerating, there is at least one gym, if not 4 at every intersection. Well, I kid you not. I mean, I can literally name 4 or 5 fitness facilities just on one road. Like right now, I'm parked here in Westlake Village on Townsgate, in front of my daughter's dance lab. And, on this road, Townsgate, there is a dance fitness facility, there's a yoga works, there is Jonathan DePaz's DePaz Energy Cardio Studio. There is a J. Ross Fitness. Wow. And
it sounds,
God knows how many others. So
it sounds positively intimidating.
It is, and literally, saturation can prove strength as long as you define yourself within the marketplace and define yourself and be, and differentiate yourself within the marketplace, even if it's in a saturated market. I mean, use my company as an example. I'm faced with thousands of competitors that use the free service tactic, free incorporation, free LLCs. And then you have ones that charge $9 incorporation services. And then I'm up against LegalZoom.com, great company, great set of guys out there that really, really know what they're doing. They're referred to as the 800-pound gorilla,
Right.
And again, I came out in this, in this economic climate that was really tough in 2009. But you know what? I took a definitive role, defined myself, created, my branding, went out there, networked, and you know what? I made, the CorpNet is very successful.
Well,
and,
I would have to agree with you, because now that I'm thinking about it, just like in California, in Florida, we're defined a little differently. Every street corner is either a tourist shop with knickknacks or it has a pharmacy. So I suppose you've got a good point. I think on every corner we've got one or the other. Yes,
and
indeed.
You know what? I respect you, and I respect what you're saying. And of course, I can see where you're coming from. But merely when I was writing the article, I was coming from a place of if you define yourself, and if you make yourself distinct within even a saturated marketplace, you have a shot at being successful. And I think that's really the message that I'm trying to get out. And I think my company sets a great example for it because of the fact that we are newer than many of our competitors, and we came out in a really, really hard time, and we defined ourselves. We even increased our prices and showed that we can be that we were a very successful company in doing so.
Now, when a client calls in there, can they talk to you directly, or is it just one of your associates?
Normally when they call in and they, if they're looking to start a business, they are referred to one of our business formation specialists. But then again, if they are calling as a result of listening to me on a radio show or as a result of reading one of my articles, they can absolutely ask for me, and they would be connected to me if I'm in the office. And if not, they would be given my email address, and they can send me an email or be directed to my voicemail. I'm very easily reachable, and you don't have to go through many hoops to get to me, you know. I've specifically modeled my business that way because I want people to be able to get a hold of me.
Right, right. Well, accountability is key.
Unless they're trying to sell me something, as you know, and as you can appreciate.
Yeah, I've been there myself.